Hello.
Oh, close that.
How are you doing, Madeline? You hanging in there?
Hanging in there, that's right. Life is getting a little better every day though, so it's always tomorrow.
Prognosis any better?
Yes, I had a heart procedure in July. And that seems to be working. And then I also had, in addition to the heart issues, I had a recurring bout with this weird anemia. So I had some blood and some iron infusions. Now all that's behind me now, so I'm doing better.
Yeah, stop doing that. Hi, Susan.
Yeah.
You're on mute, so just.
Okay, now say hi.
There you go. Hi, Beth.
Hey.
It's one other person said they might join, Linda Dove, but she wasn't sure. So how is everybody doing?
I like your backdrop.
Yeah, I have a similar one with Germana's logo for when I teach. So
Cool.
looks like I'm in a cabin somewhere.
You're becoming quite the backdrop expert here.
Yeah, well, you spend enough time on it. You, let me see if I can show you what I've done here. I think I've got to go in and turn off background.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
So I got a ring light and
Yeah.
a microphone.
You got it down to a fine art.
And I've got 2 monitors.
So when are you going to record the CD?
Well, I thought of doing a poetry podcast,
Uh-huh.
but pardon me while I make you dizzy.
Whoa.
There you go.
That's the actual background there.
Uh-huh.
Neater than mine.
And I did record one episode. I called it a biography of a poem, in which I did a reading of the poem and my best memory of where it came from.
Oh,
So, but that's
That's
as far
neat.
as I've gotten so far. Got a full
Did you say
creative writing.
hurricane?
Hmm?
Did you say hurricane?
No, that's as far as I've gotten so far.
Oh,
My creative writing class is full, so
that's
what?
great.
it's online again. We're hoping to go face to face in January. We'll see.
Winston has joined us.
I locked mine up.
Yeah, I threw Ozzy out.
Yeah, well, if I threw Winston out, he'd howl.
Mine walk across the keyboard and post stuff. I don't want posted.
Well, show us Winston's face.
Come here, Winston. Let's show your beautiful mug.
How much does
What a
how much
pretty,
does she
what
or
a
he
pretty boy.
weigh?
He's about 15, 16 pounds. He's an SPCA special.
My male is a good 18. When I have to pick him up, it's painful.
Yeah, he likes Zoom meetings. He's a ham.
He's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, any announcements or news on the poetry or personal front you want to share?
No, I finished that 3rd collection of poetry, If You Never Lived in the Mountains, and I sent it in, and I'm hoping they reject it so I can self-publish it. And then
Wrong attitude.
yeah, I know, but and
That's
then
backwards.
I've started on my fourth novel, so
Oh, good for you.
yeah, finally. And I attended a WordPress workshop Tuesday, but I didn't get very much out of it. So I'm still working on my website.
Mhm.
Well, I had an ultimately positive and amusing. There's Linda.
Yay.
Hello, Linda.
Almost looks like Monet.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Linda.
you're on mute, so just to let you know.
I said, not so beautiful, but at least it's me. Mm.
Yeah, I'm approaching 1,500 lifetime rejections.
And
And
you kept track.
oh yeah, I've got a database. And what kind of rejection it is, is it one that's just the standard, or is it, one where I should submit
You
again?
can make a book just out of all the comments of rejections.
Yeah, I've thought of it. Most of them are kind of bland, though.
With,
They've gotten safer over the years.
Mhm.
One of the places that I've submitted pretty much every year since I think 2014 was Homebound Publications,
Hmm.
the small press. And twice I've received honorable mention for a collection in their annual poetry prize. And the other times rejected. So I got an email, saying the results have been announced. And since I got an email, the results are announced, I've, just assumed that at best we'll get, honorable mention. So I marked it in my database rejected, and I looked, and I wasn't on the honorable mention list. So no big deal, it's disappointing, but c'est la vie.
it has a lot to do with who's doing the judging and
Sure.
what they like.
Sure.
I've
Well-
learned that the hard way.
Here's the amusing part. About 5 emails later, which of course I'm going in reverse chronological order, I get an email from the editor that came first that said I'd won the prize.
Woo!
I had to go
Yay!
back and unreject. In my database.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So yeah, it was a good day. I also found out that I'm getting 12 cents in royalties from Amazon Kindle.
I got notice that I'm getting a deposit, but they never tell me how much till it shows up in my account.
You can go on and my Kindle, my KDP, and you can run a report and it'll tell you. So yesterday was a good day. I won a prize and I'm getting 12 cents. So it's
Well, maybe some year we should do a competition just for that year or 6 months or whatever, who can get the most rejections. I think that would be fun.
It would spur me to
It
send
spurs us
stuff
all to
in. 'Cause
submit.
I don't send stuff in.
Yeah.
well, maybe a more positive way of doing that would be who could submit the most
Yeah.
Ooh, better.
individual,
that.
they can be either manuscript or in groups of
Mhm.
poems or whatever, or a story or whatever.
If we decide to do that, like for next year, maybe our January meeting, some of you all could tell us the best places to submit, because I have my poets and writers right here with all the places you can submit, but I don't really know good places to submit. So maybe we could have a class or workshop on that in January.
I got that question in one panel I was on, and boy, I spend a lot of time. Like you, Madeline, I've got down in the basement probably 150 copies of journals. I read what they post online.
I'm slowly throwing mine away or giving them away.
Yeah.
I have stacks.
And it's really hard to tell. You think, well, this just really fits exactly what they want. But I've also served as, and I'm serving as a reader or editor, I think 3 times now. And, then I attended a panel discussion at Association of Writers and Writing Programs, AWP,
Mhm.
in Tampa a few years ago. And it was a group of young editors, and they scoffed at any editor who would say that their criteria is quality. And they said that what was more important was importance. And I never did get a definition of what importance meant.
Are these millennials?
I think they were, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
I don't know,
visible.
is importance, politics? Is importance life story? It was never clear. But I figured probably I wasn't going to be writing anything important by their definition. So
I'm personally getting tired of teenagers and 20-somethings writing about, phooey, it just left me. A change of life. What do you call it?
menopause.
Oh, no, when you're young and coming of
Midlife
age.
crisis?
Coming of age.
Oh,
Oh.
coming of age.
Coming of age. And these 18 and 19-year-olds will write about coming of age. And it's like, so we all did that. What's the big deal?
Oh, well, but I mean, a Bildungsroman, that's kind of a classic story to write. So why not?
And I guess they're all tired of people like me who write about loss and death and
Me too. That's what I write
suffering
about.
and lessons of experience. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Or memories. I write
Oh.
this last collection's a lot of memories
mhm.
of growing up and stuff, but none of this coming of age stuff.
But to be fair,
yeah.
a couple of editors that have been very positive about my work were
Good.
in the, I would say, late 30s area. And they didn't care that I was some old near-death white guy. So
They probably didn't know.
well, I mean, if you give them a bio and it
Yeah.
says,
Yeah.
they can look it up and figure it
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
So
In my case, if they
also-
spell my name right.
We're lucky in that we've been through all those changes of life, or I should speak for
I
myself.
have. No, I have.
But they have not yet experienced that. And so it isn't important to them, perhaps. The word important, or it's relevant would be a better word, because they're not feeling that, they're not experiencing that yet.
Yeah.
So they're writing about what they know about, which is
well, and that's why, to me, one of the reasons I write and read poetry, but novels, fiction too, is to get out of myself and to,
absolutely.
Well, that's, yeah.
to know an other a little bit.
The one
And-
I see though is, for example, when I was in my teens and 20s, I had 3 great grandmothers. And so I was raised with a great appreciation of people older than I am, the elderly, and but I don't see that in this younger generation. I don't see the respect, the admiration for experience and age. And I think that's what bothers me.
I'd have to say my experience has been different. When I was president of Germana, the Young Professionals chapter associated with the Fredericksburg Regional Chamber invited me to talk about my leadership journal and leadership in general. And these were all people that by definition had to be under 45.
Mhm.
And so they ranged from 20s to 40s. And they were they were hungry to hear what I'd been through, what I'd learned, what I knew, what I didn't know, and were very respectful. And the same thing in my classes. Now we're talking whatever the generation after millennials. I do have some older students, but generally most of the students, at least 2/3, are 18 to 25. And I just don't pick that disrespect up for most of them.
I think that may be the exception more than the rule, because before I retired in 2012, the younger teachers that were coming in were a waste. They had no work ethic. They thought they knew everything and they didn't. They didn't want any suggestions or support. And so, maybe that's my microcosms. I don't know.
I just remember people saying that about my generation. We were all
Yeah.
spoiled and lazy and causing problems because we didn't get our way. So that's why we demonstrated and protested.
I never heard that, but of course they made fun of the flower children and all that, but that was a minority.
Yeah.
But then you have to remember, I was raised in West Virginia and you were raised somewhere else, and there is a difference where we were raised.
Well, and I always enjoyed hearing from people older than me. So,
Oh, I did too.
well, we don't want to use up all of our time here. Although we can always restart the meeting. I had on the agenda what we want to do for the rest of this year and into 2022. And so I assume we're going to keep meeting monthly. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to check around to see if I can find a place, a library or a place that has it. It would be nice to be able to offer face-to-face with a video interactive option. Both, maybe forever, because we want to recruit obviously more members and younger members too.
Millennials in particular.
Pardon me?
I said millennials in particular.
Well, anybody.
We need to get them involved.
Under 50s even. But I also don't want to leave people out that for one reason or another might be housebound. Or, if we're going to continue to, there still is no vice president for the Western region. So we include the Western region in there. Linda, where do you live? I can't remember.
Harrisonburg.
Yeah, so you're part of that region.
But I mean, it's 60 miles from Winchester. There's no way I'm going to be running up to Winchester on 81,
Yeah, or, Culpeper is probably about the same.
Oh, it's even further, yeah.
And then, Fredericksburg is like 2.5 hour drive or something.
Yeah.
So, and I really don't want to go and have 3 meetings every month in 3 different regions.
I don't drive that far anymore.
We'd rotate them.
Yeah.
But then if we offered it through video too, we wouldn't exclude people.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
So that sounds like something to do is try to have a combination face-to-face and video.
And David, you probably have plenty of expertise yourself, and you've got the techno gurus at Germana. But if you want some other input on setting up a dual meeting, Joy O'Toole at the Howell branch of the Central Rappahannock Regional Library has been experimenting with doing these in-person video hybrids. And I don't understand exactly what she was doing, but she told me recently that she's figured out a way to pass her cell phone around in the room with some app that she got, I think, and it worked really, really well. And since I wasn't there watching her do it, I don't know exactly what was involved, but she's been playing with processes and experimenting because she's running a lot of dual meetings right now. I can send you her email if that would be helpful.
Okay, well, I've got it, so.
Oh, you got it. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
I'm doing a session in October for the library on the 10-minute play, which is
Oh, wonderful.
one of the
On
things
what?
that
I couldn't hear that.
10-minute play,
Oh,
which is one of the things that I teach in my creative writing class. They write a short story, a 10-minute
Yeah.
play, and 3 poems. So one of the challenges when you do that, whether it's teaching or running a meeting, is, you're trying to pay attention to the people that are remote and the people in front of you and not forget the people that are in. So anyway, we'll see if we can set something up like that. And again, in the same kinds of things, business meetings, workshops, speaker presenters, rotating, those kinds of things. Okay.
For speakers, it might be possible if we can contact some of the other regions to do a swap. If we do a program or several programs, we could send our list of possible programs to them. They could send what they're doing to us, and we could trade, and that wouldn't involve any financial expense.
Yeah.
Or we could record something and then share it with another group.
That's a good idea.
I did.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have our October Poetry Festival. Again, ideally we could stream it live. As well as do face-to-face. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Germana right now. Most of the classes in the fall are online. The plan is to be mostly face-to-face in January, although they found that they're one of the few community colleges in Virginia whose enrollment's up. And they found that a lot of the students like the flexibility of the online. So probably, that when I was president, we were planning for fewer classrooms because we'd have half and half, fully online, fully face-to-face mixed options. So I assume we want to do something in October again, around the 3rd or 4th week, probably Thursday night again, right?
David, as a relative newcomer, when you say our poetry festival, are you talking about Germana, the northern Shenandoah, Western region, PSV, or what?
Poetry Society of Virginia is in May.
Yeah.
Each region
May,
is supposed to
yeah.
do something annually.
Right.
So we don't have enough members in the Northwest
Okay.
or the North Central to do 2 separate ones.
Okay.
So, and Germana in the past has been a co-sponsor.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
thank you.
I offer extra credit to my creative writing students if they come, and even more if they read. And when we did it face-to-face, we would have, I don't know, half a dozen students reading.
Students. Okay,
Um,
thank you.
So, and they also help with some of the publicity. So if we're interested in doing it, I would approach the college again and see if they're willing to co-sponsor. It doesn't cost them really anything, a little bit of time.
It's also open to you don't have to be a member to attend.
A
Correct,
member of
It's
PSV.
open to the public.
correct.
Yes.
Yeah, anybody can attend, anybody can participate in the open reading.
Okay.
It's really been exciting to
It
have,
has.
because we haven't done one for, what, a year or so now, year and a half?
We did it last October through Zoom. It's been 2 years,
Oh,
or is
yeah.
it a year and a half? Because we were doing one in April and
Yeah.
one in October. And when we couldn't do it face to face, we canceled the one in April.
Mhm.
And we've only been doing one a year since then.
I don't even remember last year.
Well, that's where we had former poet laureate of Virginia. was
Henry
one of the
Carolyn Crider
readers.
Ferranda, you
And,
remember?
yeah,
that?
and Beth,
Who was it?
Beth did her workshop on rhyming poems.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Oh, yeah, of course.
So probably, well, first of all, I got to see what German is going to do and if they'll co-sponsor and if they are having any face-to-face events or not. So I know I'm going to have to show when I start going to campus that I've been vaccinated or take a test every month, every week.
I was going to ask about that because I haven't been vaccinated for a lot of reasons, which I won't go into, but I was going to ask if we're required it, that those of us that haven't had it, if I haven't had it by then, can just participate via Zoom.
Well, that's what I'm thinking now. It might not be Zoom and it might not be two-way. It might be
Yeah.
just we video stream it.
Right. But that's better than not being able to hear it at all.
So
You
The
can
other- the
video
other-
stream. You can video stream through Facebook for people, but it's
Yeah.
not, if you're not a member of Facebook, you're just
Right.
watching, you can't participate.
yeah, no, we would probably video
Not
stream
required.
through something that doesn't require membership like YouTube or something like
Mm.
that. And we could receive questions during the question period via
Mhm.
text
Yeah.
Mhm.
to a number, and then the person with that number would read the questions.
Mhm.
We don't normally get a lot of questions.
I've participated in several large group, and that's what we did. We chatted on the chat section. We typed out our questions, and then the speaker could read them and answer them, and it worked really well.
So I'll approach Germana and see whether they're willing to co-sponsor. We have new vice presidents now, new deans, but I know them, so.
Have you
The-
thought about the program or anything yet? Or you,
No. So if you have ideas about who should like to have 2 or 3 readers and maybe do a workshop like Beth did last time.
the only names I could come up with, and I think we've already had them either at some time or another, was Stan Galloway and Henry Hart, but I don't want to keep.
Didn't
picking on the same
Richmond
thing.
name a new poet laureate?
Yeah,
Maybe,
And
I
we-
don't know
and-
anything about
I don't
that.
know who I don't know her.
and we have a new one, as well, she's in her 2nd year for the state too. so,
Yeah, I remember seeing her name, but I didn't recognize it, so.
Luis, I can check with,
Yeah, well, that might be a person to contact.
yeah.
And
Okay.
I've just switched from a Zooming thing with the Virginia Black poet. No, I think she's the Black Poet Laureate for Virginia. I think she lives in Alexandria, and that's going on now, which is why was switching between the two of you. And she's doing a workshop now
Okay.
with folk, and she's very lively.
All right.
Well published, I think.
Okay, well, send me name and,
I think her name is Nikita or Kikita or something, Kinita or something. I'll send you the name now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, I got a
But I
notice.
do like the workshops.
Okay,
I enjoyed Beth's.
Thank you.
Got my creative juices flowing.
well, in an ideal world where we could do it face to face, we would have something that would go on for maybe 5 or 6 hours with a couple of workshops, a meet and greet, and then a reading and an open mic and that sort of thing. But we're a ways away from that, so
Yeah.
I'll keep it slimmer for now. And if one of you want to read, let me know. We'll see what happens. The other thing I wanted to talk about, we have about 10 minutes left, is the centennial. 2022 is the 100th anniversary of Poetry Society of Virginia. And they're going to be planning centennial events. So I assume what we'll do is we'll make our October 2022 festival our centennial event. But they're also looking for, I mean, they're going to do a state something or another too. They're also looking to develop some kind of a selection of poems from past members and I assume current members. There's a meeting tomorrow that I'll be attending, and
Are you meaning like maybe even those that are deceased?
yes,
Yeah.
over the
Well,
100 years.
Well, I know, I've been a member a long time and a lot of the people I first knew have passed away.
But you haven't been a member for 100 years, so
No.
don't give me that.
No.
But the idea is a selection from over the whole 100
I think
years.
that's a great idea.
That would be,
Maybe from the annual contest, is that what you're thinking?
I don't know exactly what they're going to do.
Mhm.
I'm one of the editors and somebody else said they'd be willing to help, but I forget who that was now.
Mm.
But we'll find out more as we get this rolling.
That sounds wonderful.
So if you're interested in helping out in any way with our festival or something, in 2022 or ideas you have, just let me know. Next month, I'm guessing we'll probably do it via Zoom again. It looks like the fourth wave will be with us for a while. And unfortunately, probably there'll be a epsilon or a gamma or whatever.
What was that?
There'll be a new strain that will be even more virulent that will probably get around the vaccines because so many people have not got the immunity at this point. What do I know? I'm the wrong kind of doctor. So any other thoughts, suggestions, questions?
I have one, David, and it's this, that you mentioned 8 hours or something. I find I belong to several Zooming groups and I find increasingly that people find long Zooming sessions very tiring.
No, that was for a face-to-face.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still talking
That was
about
that was a vision for when we're able to actually meet together and
what a vision.
In person.
Yeah.
We
I
can
think
breathe each other's air.
I think last year Beth's workshop was a little bit under an hour, and it was active. There were times where you were
Yeah.
writing and rewriting.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then we had an hour of 3 people reading,
Right.
designated in advance. And then we had open mic for as long as it lasted. And I think it went for about half an hour.
Right.
And it was set up so that you could, do the workshop and skip the other, or skip the workshop and do the other. Because, I think Zooming is more exhausting than face-to-face,
Mhm.
but
which is illogical, but I agree.
So no, we would try to keep it under 3 hours for this October. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, that's it. And this is recording, and so I will post it for you and for those that weren't here. And
It's great seeing all of you. I
Yeah.
enjoyed.
take care, keep writing, keep submitting.
Thank you, David. Thank you for
And
doing.
thank
what
you for
do.
leading us, David. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that too,
I
David.
do
It
too.
keeps me off the street.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
take
I'm
care.
getting off. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good day, all.
Beth, bye, Susan.